everyone, this is Sharon and Jamie from Sharon at Sea, and as some of you may know, we are going to be venturing out and taking our first Royal Caribbean cruise in another week on Symphony of the Seas, and there's a few things that we have run across that are maybe a little different, or things that are just important with Royal Caribbean to make sure you do before you sail, and we're going to share those with you in case you haven't been on a Royal cruise before. All right, first we're going to talk about the app. Most cruise lines these days have an app that you can download prior to sailing and use when you're on the ship so that you don't miss out on any activities. But with Royal Caribbean, it's kind of unique is they have an app that you can use before you set sail. You can do all kinds of things, including your online check-in.
All right, yeah, so Royal Caribbean seems to be pretty social media savvy. Like Sharon said, the app is going to be tremendously interactive for you. And we had mentioned, we've been on a lot of Carnival cruises before, and they have the Hub app. And that's an app that's really designed to be used on the ship once you get on board. But Royals is really set up to begin using it prior to getting on. So again, make sure that you download it, and it's going to have a lot of things involved. One thing that's unique is you can do your entire online check-in using the app, which is something that we haven't experienced on the other cruise line. So that's pretty neat. They also have something called the Cruise Planner in there, which is a tool you're going to use to book a lot of excursions and a lot of activities that you're going to want to do on the ship. And I will tell you one thing, and you probably know this, is Royal Caribbean will not let you forget to check your cruise planner. I am getting multiple emails a day reminding me to go online, look at excursions, purchase packages, check out excursion prices and things like that. But one thing that we found that's pretty neat is you can use the app to book excursions, but keep an eye on that app and on your cruise planner that's on there, because there will actually be discounts and sales and specials on excursions. And what was the one thing that we found that we got and then found there was a price drop on it through the app?
It was our perfect day at Coco Cay. At the water park.
Yeah.
We had originally booked a half-day pass, and then, what was it, like a couple weeks later, we noticed the full-day pass was less than the half-day pass.
Yeah.
So we called them and we canceled the half-day pass and rebooked the full day for a lesser price. But one thing to keep in mind is when you do that, they have to cancel one and rebook. They can't just change it over and charge you the difference in price or refund you the difference. So they will refund you the money within like 3 to 5 business days or something like that, but you do have to go ahead and pay again for the new one at that time. So you're kind of like out double the money for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that can get a little tricky if you run that debit card a little on the tight side, so just be aware of that.
Oh, and one more thing to keep in mind, if you do use the app on your phone for doing your online check-in, you do need to get on the computer at some point or be able to print out your luggage tags, because you're going to want your luggage tags to put on your luggage.
Oh, that's a great idea. The app is designed to be paperless, but luggage tags, not so much.
Yeah, make sure you have your luggage tags.
All right, so another thing we're super excited about getting on this Royal Caribbean cruise on Symphony of the Seas is checking out the entertainment. Royal Caribbean is known for having amazing entertainment and shows, and we can't wait to check a few of them out. But we found something pretty unique when it comes to reserving spots for the shows and making your reservations.
Yes, and with Royal Caribbean, one thing you do need to do is pre-book your entertainment. So you can go onto the app or on the cruise planner on your computer, but anyway, however you do it, you need to get in that cruise planner and pre-book your entertainment. There will be options for different times, and certain times will sell out. So it's very important that you pre-book those, because there are some awesome shows on the ship and they do sell out quickly. So as soon as they're available, they usually become available about 90 days prior to your cruise. So you want to kind of mark your calendar and get on there and reserve those shows.
Now keep in mind, there's no charge for these. These are part of the cruise that you booked, but it is still something that you need to reserve a spot for, and I'm assuming it has to do with popularity, possibly limited seating at some of the shows and things like that. And I think one thing that's a little unique for us is we did take advantage of the Key program, but we are still securing reservations and scheduling times for us to go see these shows and the entertainment to make sure that we are not left out in the cold when it comes showtime.
Right. Even if you do have the key program, you know, they do give you like priority seating in the shows, but you do have to reserve your time. You still have to reserve the time. You can't just show up with the key program and have a seat.
Yes.
They need to know that you have a spot that you've reserved and you want to be there.
Yeah, and like Sharon said, don't wait till the last minute, because we just did it a couple weeks ago, and half of these shows were already sold out. I think one of them we have booked for like 10 o'clock at night or something like that.
Well, I think some of the earlier shows were sold out, so most of the shows we're seeing are later. But that works for us because we just we have my time dining, so we just worked our dining time around the show. So it all works out.
And speaking of my time dining, there's something kind of unique with Royal where you can actually make a reservation for a time if you have my time dining or anytime dining. How does that work?
That's right. It's not required. You can just show up there, but you will probably have a considerable wait depending on what time you show up.
Yes.
But I would highly recommend you set a time on your cruise planner. It will give you options if you log in there for My Time Dining to choose different times, and certain times will book up. For instance, when we got on to book ours, we had a choice of like 5 o'clock, 5:30. And then not again until 7:45, 8 o'clock, 8:30, things like that. So those 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time frames there that are very popular were already gone. So I would suggest that you book that ahead of time. Now the other thing is some people choose the scheduled dining, which on Royal Caribbean is 5:30 and 8 o'clock. So if those times work for you, I would suggest maybe do that if that's more of an option for you. We personally wanted to have a little more flexibility, so we went with My Time Dining. And we just kind of booked our shows and things and our dining times around each other so we don't miss out on anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unique. We're looking at My Time Dining as something where you just show up there. We know you probably have a little bit of a wait and then you go in, but Royal's really recommending that you make a reservation similar to what you might do on land as far as the restaurant goes and show up at that time.
I think there are some other cruise lines that do this as well, although we're used to Carnival. On Carnival, you just, for my time or your time on Carnival, you just kind of show up. You don't have to reserve before. So that's something new to us in regards to Royal Caribbean. All right, next let's talk a little bit about excursions and pre-booking excursions. If you are planning any excursions through the cruise line, you will book them through the cruise planner. I would highly suggest they do sell out, so I would highly suggest you do that kind of early, but watch the cruise planner frequently. Get on every couple weeks or a week and just kind of check it, because like we mentioned earlier, they constantly have discounts on things, and that is not just excursions. That includes specialty dining, that includes drink packages and all those things. They will have quite frequently like a 20% off, sometimes even a 30% off, and so that's always good to know, because like we mentioned, if a discount does become available, you can cancel your one reservation and rebook another one at a lesser price.
Hold on, are you telling me there was a 30% discount on the drink package? Did we take advantage of that?
Actually, I think at one time there was a 40% off the second guess or something like that. Yeah.
Hold on, but we didn't get that?
We did not get it.
We may end up regretting that, but that's another story.
Well, there was
for
a reason
video.
we didn't get the drink package this time. I actually thought about getting it, but since we are going to be so busy vlogging and it's a shorter cruise, I didn't really think it would benefit us financially.
Well, I think really, once you submit it, you're afraid that I might have a few too many cocktails and get lost on that big old ship and not know my way around.
Yeah,
so,
I thought maybe we will tone it down on the drinking. On
take
this
it down one notch?
Big new Royal ship.
Just one
and
notch.
Take all the Royal.
Well, that's because we really want to dedicate our time to making some great vlogs and videos to share them with you guys. So we want to be on point for this one.
Yeah, we'll save the drink package for next time.
And one other thing that you book ahead, like onboard activities, for instance, like laser tag.
Right, you can book that. Is something you can book ahead of time. We did. I am so glad I booked that. Actually, I booked that about a month out, or maybe even a little more, maybe 6 weeks. And I'm so glad I did, because now it is sold out. All the times are sold out.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So make sure you check on that cruise planner and book things early and watch for discounts.
Yes. It's always a hot topic, sometimes a little controversial, but I think we found out some unique things about how the gratuities are going to play out on Royal Caribbean. Every cruise line has a program where they're going to include, after you get on the ship, gratuities, and the cost of it's usually broken down per person, a daily basis, and things like that. But how they charge and what some of the rules are about that could be a little different. So what did you find out about gratuities with Royal Caribbean?
Well, with Royal Caribbean, you can prepay them like most cruise lines. Another thing is, or you can pay them once you're on board. They will just charge your account. So what I was told is they charge you per day on Royal Caribbean to your account. I don't know if that's true or if it's one lump sum. So actually, for all of you Royal cruisers out there, that's a good question for you to answer in the comments below. Let us know when you've cruised on Royal before, if you did not prepay your gratuities, did they put it on your account each day? Or did they add it on as a lump sum at the end, or maybe a lump sum mid-cruise, or how did that work for you? We actually prepaid ours this time, like I said, so we won't be able to answer that because they're already paid for. And one other tip we ran across is that I guess at one time they used to say that you had to prepay your gratuities if you had My Time dining. But that is no longer in effect, so you don't have to pay your gratuities up front.
And that's something, and you found that how? When you called to inquire about that, or how did you come across that?
I was reading that quite a bit online, so I actually inquired directly to Royal about that, and that I was told that's no longer in effect. So just if you're someone that's maybe cruised Royal in the past, quite a while ago, and experienced that, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
And for any other first-time Royal cruisers out there, do you happen to know what the gratuity charge is off the top of your head?
Well, at this time, keep in mind this is when this video
subject to change.
Yes.
Okay.
It is $14.50 per person per day for a mini suite, I guess, or under. If you have a grand suite or above, it is $17.50 per person per day.
I guess they're figuring those grand suite people are going to be messier, probably having some big parties they got to clean up after or something like that.
I don't know about that, but
no.
Yeah, they're going to charge them more.
They're not high maintenance in the grand suite.
You're always going to get charged more with a suite. And that's common with every cruise line. Every cruise line, I believe, the suite gratuities are always a little more.
All right, so keep in mind, gratuities, pay attention to those, and we'll see how they play out. But that is different if they charge a little bit each day on your well, it's not a sail and sign, it's a Sea Pass. Another thing we got to get used to, but we'll see how many times we call our Sea Pass a sail and sign card, and all the Royal cruisers will come in and say, it's not a sail and sign, it's a Sea Pass. Get it right. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are all just some of the new things that we ran across, and hope these were helpful for some of you. Some of you probably already know them all and know more than us about Royal. So
yes, we're the rookies here. We're the 25 plus cruise rookies going on this cruise, and we're super excited to go out and experience all this stuff.
Any extra tips for us? Leave those in the comments below as well.
Yeah, help us out a little bit. All right, so that's kind of a collection of tips or things we've experienced while we're getting ready to board Symphony of the Seas for our first Royal Caribbean cruise. Now keep in mind the vlog series that we're putting together is a little bit of a comparison, and we can't help but compare. We're going to try not to do it to a point where you get tired of hearing it, but we're really trying to see if we're going to go from being Carnival loyalists to royalists. So we're going to look at what we've experienced before and what's different, new, better, worse, or whatever the case is. And these are just a few things that we've already experienced that were a little different than what we've seen in the past. Doesn't mean anything was better or worse, just different. Although it was a little weird getting a lot of emails promoting and advertising excursions. I hadn't experienced that before, so I'm on the fence on how that works. But
we're really curious too, how we're going to enjoy it, but also how Matthew, our son, is going to enjoy it. Maybe we may end up liking Royal better, but maybe he's going to still like the Kids Club and Carnival better. I don't know. So we're going to kind of see how it goes for all of us as a family.
And if you're noticing that he's missing here, as a 14-year-old boy, he's not down with being involved in every video that we make from Sharon at Sea. He's got a lot of priorities. There's a lot of video games that need his attention, and text messaging and chatting and things like that. He's heavily involved in.
He'll be on the cruise vlogs.
Yes, you'll get plenty of Matthew. So if you're here just for Matthew and you have no interest in Sharon or myself, he will be back. So have no fear.
And he will be doing the pizza review.
Oh, you can bet. Yeah, you can bet he'll be doing that. So listen, we really appreciate you guys taking a minute to watch. Again, we want to welcome you to our vlog series. From Carnival loyalists to royalists. We're going to see how everything plays out, but thanks for watching. If you're into cruise vlogs, cruise news, cruise tips, and just watching a family have fun cruising and sharing their experiences with you, then maybe you consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you always know when the new content's coming out. We're going to have some live shows coming up here from Miami, from Epcot Center after the cruise. We're going to probably do some live look-ins as well. Every Monday night we do a live show with a bunch of the cruise crew. Speaking of cruise crew, check out Facebook and go to Sharonatsea Cruise Crew. Join up there to have fun and interact with a lot of folks posting pictures, cruise experiences, and things like that. And just make sure you follow along. We really appreciate it. And from myself, Sharon, Matthew, and everyone here at Sharon at Sea, happy cruising.